You know when you're looking for something and it just isn't there? It just isn't. I was looking for my lubricant and it wasn't in the place that I put it. Somebody obviously moved it, and then I searched everywhere else. When I got back to the original place, somebody had put it back there. Today I'm going to change the clutch for an aftermarket clutch and bell housing. And I'm hoping it's going to get rid of the problem, because the original one is shit. The one that I bought as a replacement be shit. I'm hoping now that the aftermarket one, which looks generally similar to a Malossi clutch kit, which you'll see in a bit, and I'm going to replace it and get rid of this clutch judder shit once and for all. I'm going to methodically start taking this apart, and I'll try and give you as much info as possible on this video, because hopefully I'll only have to do it once. I don't really want to have to do it again. This is going to be the last time I take this thing apart. First thing you've got to do is take this thing off here. So you've got four Allen bolts, and 2 of them are actually behind protective plastic casings. You just pop those off, and then you take 1 bolt out. Four bolts, and then simply, if you pull on this thing, keep wiggling it, it comes off. Now inside here there's an air filter, and to get that out, all you need to do is just lever. You've got one like anchor point there with a clip on it, and if you just pull it out, I think this one actually just comes out, and then out it comes. And that filter is supposed to be an air filter. So the way this system works is it sucks air in through here, and then it pumps it out the bottom at the back to keep the belt and all the variator and everything else cool. So this thing is a critical part, otherwise your belt starts overheating and your clutch starts overheating, and that's exactly what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to cool everything down. But every time I've taken this apart, there's not been a problem with it, to be honest. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bolts. And also there's one in the middle there that's got to be undone. And also this clamp here has to be undone. All these bolts are on the outside, they're all 8mm. And then you've got the one at the front there, which is a 10mm. I didn't take the centre one out, I just loosened it. There you go. Right, this has got to come off, this has got to come off, and there is a tool that you can buy. I bought it on Lazada. I think they're about £1.20 a piece. For some strange reason I bought 2. Here's the tool. Now this thing I had to cut down. These prongs are too big and they wouldn't go into here, so I had to cut them down a bit. If you put your tool in there, that's what she said, and the only way I know is just to rest it on there, get your 17mm socket and then hold it in place somewhere, somehow, and that'll come undone. I need an extension so I can get my tool in. Should lock somewhere. Oh my god. Oh, I remember now, I had to lock it against the clutch, the bell housing, didn't I? And then get the full force of my bloody body weight on it. Because it is actually a self-tightening nut. Bolt. Yeah. Make sure to note where the washer goes on. It goes on the back side, on the front side here. We've got the nut, and then you've got the bearing. Now this will come off. So it's got an uneven wear on it. In one point. So I reckon that's warped again, you know. One of my Patreon members, Charles, One of my Patreon members has mentioned that it could be because of clutch slip, that the clutch is constantly getting burning hot and then cooling down, burning hot, cooling down. And I seriously think that's what's caused the problem. So anyway, yes, you can pull the front piece off, and then you've got another washer that goes here, that goes in there, and then the belt can be released, and then this will come off as a whole unit. This has got to come out as well because I'm changing the variator weights. They were set up for touring, but obviously I'm not touring anymore, so I'm going to put some lighter weights in there, which I've got. I've got to clean all this out because there is some debris in there, but there's nothing major. Just give it a quick wash out. Obviously put something down first, otherwise your missus is probably going to kill you in the face. This is the clutch and the rear variator, belt pulley thing, I don't know. To get this off, you do need an impact driver. So I've got my, is it a 41 or a 39? I can't remember. It's a 3941 socket, which cost me a couple of quid, I think it was. Basically, you just hammer the shit out of it. Now there's a spring. Where's the spring? Is it in there or behind? I don't know, there's a spring, so it does come off with a bit of a pop. It's nothing major. Oh great, it's not going to release, is it? There it is. That is not supposed to happen, that's supposed to be free. And then this spring will come off, along with the bushings. That one needs cleaning out, that's ridiculously stiff. And this should actually separate, that's quite free to be honest. But I do need to clean that out, definitely. Oh, I've lost my bloody glasses now. You know, she cooks the most amazing meals. She'll spend 2 hours cooking a meal that takes 10 minutes to eat. I never understand why. I've methodically been through and cleaned all this out with first with a toothbrush and then with a brass brush, but I don't know why I didn't just go straight to the brass brush. I've lubed all this up so as now it's free. It's beautiful and free. Forza it's called. And that's the clutch bell. And as you can see, it's got a lot more venting on it to blow all the shit out, basically. That's what I'm concerned about. And then you've got the clutch itself. Compared to the original, there's not much in it. In fact, they're pretty much identical. There is actually no difference. So you get that with your knees like that. And then you push that down like that. And then you get the nut. And you put the nut on. And then you get your impact gun, make sure it's set to tighten, and that's it. You don't want a lot on there, you just want to basically smear it on just to make sure that there's some on there. The bearing's already lubed, but this is where the bearing runs. And also around the end here, because the bearing goes over the top and the nut and everything else, you need to make sure everything's nice and free. I can temporarily put that back on there. The bearing seems alright. To get rid of any machining oil or anything else like that that's left on there. Oh my god, that's filthy. And then that can go on for a minute. Yeah. That all runs freely. And this front end doesn't have any lubricant on it whatsoever because it's not ceramic bearing, I can't remember the name of it now. Well, this has got to be cleaned out again as well. That's bad. Oh god, the bearing's gone stiff as well. I don't think that clutch was wearing properly at all, or it was wearing too much. It all seems to be wearing nice and evenly, so I'm not worried about that. And yes, I have cleaned all the bearings out. That's fine. I'm going with the lighter ones. 17s. Or I've got these which are 15. I've got 24s or 18s. I need to make sure that there's no rough surfaces and there's nothing stuck onto these bloody things, because I've had them where there's little dimples or bits sticking out, that, like that one has a bit. But yeah, you need to make sure that these things roll into the slots perfectly all the way around. And make sure everything is perfectly clean. And then that can go back on. So you need to make sure that this is all nice and clean and all nice and friction free, I suppose, like that is. And then that goes on there. No lubricant. Put the bearing in, Tony. You might find that the bearing only goes in easily one way. I can put that washer in, make sure everything's spotless. Like I say, it just cuts down the limit on possibilities, and then that can go on. Although that's got to come off again because I've got to put the belt on. I've got to clean the bearing off as well. Get rid of the grease that's already on there, and I'll put some new fresh grease on it. That's the one that goes into the clutch housing. This is the stability bearing, I suppose. And I can pull that and put the belt on there. And I can put the belt on there, like that, and then I put the washer on. That can go on. You're not going to be able to get it on, believe me, you cannot do it. So what I do is this: I put the bolt back in there, and then I can put that on. And then I can put the bearing on, and then I can put the nut on, and I can do that up finger tight as well, just to stop it from moving anywhere. I'll get my socket and I'll just turn it a bit by hand, and then you've got to get your tool. This is where it gets a bit innuendous. And then you turn it a bit more. See, people have asked how I do it. Well, this is how I do it. And I really haven't got a clue if it's the right way, but I don't give a shit, it works. And then you tighten it a bit more. It only has to be hand tight. You don't want to start tightening it too far, because it actually stretches the belt, or it deforms the belt. And then you do it a bit more. You do a 180 every time, and just keep going until you can tighten it and turn it, which is how that is now. Like that. So this foam filter simply slots in there, and then that goes in there. So that's ready. Casing's dry because it only takes 5 minutes in this 38-degree heat, and there's locators, and also you've got the rear bearing that's got to go in place. You see there's two different lengths of bolt. Well, the best thing you can do is go around with all the short ones, and the short ones will bite if they're the right size. If they don't bite, you know it's one of the longer bolts. Don't try and put the longer bolts in first, always put the shorter ones in. And then don't forget the front clamp, which is a 10mm bolt. And then your filter box, which quite literally goes on like that. Now there's 3 bolts here, 4 bolts. Your normal bolts go on the front piece, and this bit goes on the back. And then these caps go on there and on there. Wow, that's smooth. It's never been that smooth. Honestly, it's never been that smooth. And I can immediately tell that the revs are a lot higher. Oh my god, the accelerations. That's made quite a bit of a difference to the acceleration. Oh god, the drive cut-off's a lot lower, higher. Of course it is, it will be. It seems to me like it's got stronger springs on the clutch on this one. Oh yes! Oh, the acceleration's a lot stronger now. And the cut-off is at about 25. I'd say about 25 km/h instead of about 15, I think it was before. That's for you. Cop and clap. No, it's fine, thank you. Oh yeah, the revs are a lot higher. I'm not touring now. I've got no intention of touring, so there is no point me doing it. And I'm sorry to those people who've been watching and waiting for me to talk the whole of bloody Thailand, but I did say at the start of it that I would only tour as far as I need to. There's no point me keeping on going, you know, thousands of kilometres and not getting paid for it. I wonder if the clutch starts slipping. Hang on. See if I can hear it. No, it just drops the cog down. I reckon it'll still do 140. Well, we'll just have to see how long this one lasts. See how well it goes, I suppose. The accelerations are much better.